please welcome with me Paul Sholton. He is from ChipCart company, and he is going to present for us the new challenges for electronics distribution. The stage is yours.
So I'm overall today 38 years in the industry, and when you see what my background is, so typically any executive can talk about one company. I can talk about one of the largest companies in the semiconductor industry, Texas Instruments. I can talk about Arrow Electronics, one of the, you could say, the largest distributor on the planet. And I can talk about Retronic. Retronic is one of the leading private distributors in Europe. Electronica is very interesting because I'm back in Munich. I lived here 20 years with my family in Freising, close to Munich. And this is actually my number 19th Electronica over the last 38 years. So the electronic component supply market has changed. I remember in the 90s when I was heading TI in the distribution world, we made a new complete distribution strategy in Europe. I was responsible within TI for distribution, automotive, and marketing and sales. And at the time we came out with a new distribution strategy, and companies like Siemens Halbleiter, it's now Infineon, Philips, it's now NXP, STM, and others that were following. One of the leading companies at that time was also Motorola. Today it's Freescale. And you see that this whole electronic distribution strategy has changed over the last 38 years, every 8 to 10 years. What is also interesting is that in the 2013-14, TI went to a one distributor model. And they took only one distributor, which has been Arrow, for logistics. And that was actually the starting point of a digital area. So what you see today, and that's very interesting, you see that large manufacturers, they have either one distributor or they have 2, 3, and in certain occasions, certain manufacturers, they have 10, 15, 20 distributors. You also need to see worldwide that you talk about Europe, and Europe is not only Europe. Europe is Europe, Eastern Europe, Middle East and Africa, and everybody is having different franchises. If you look in Asia, you talk in Asia about 5 different areas. You talk about Southeast Asia, you talk about Greater China, you talk about Taiwan, you talk about a very close market, Japan, you also talk about South Korea. And all the manufacturers are having a different franchise model for all those different regions. If you look to distribution, everybody knows the 2 big players, Arrow and FNet. If you look to Arrow, the acquisitions that they accomplished over the last 30, 40 years, I've been part of it. In the 90s, when I joined Arrow as managing director for Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Belgium and the Netherlands, where I'm coming from, I was having my office in Munich here, and in Dreieich, they're sitting now in Neu-Isenburg, and Arrow accomplished an acquisition of more than 60 companies. And at that time, I was heading Arrow with Sperle, Sasco, Holtz, Arrow Direct. So if you look a little bit to the history, what happened at that time, and when you look today, many, many changes occurred. And when you look in this model here, you see many different distributors, and some distributors are having 600, 700, 800 different manufacturers. Of course, the catalog distribution, it's known. They do not have in that always the franchise contracts, but the global ones, they do have it. And the global distributors, they're having 200, 300, 400 different suppliers. Now, it opens up, in this complex model, it opens up a sea of opportunities. So this is why we invented ChipCart. As mentioned, 30 years in the 30 years in the industry. I have been visiting all the CEOs from Siemens, Nokia, Ericsson at that time to all the global players here in Germany and also in Europe. When you talk about the big EMSs, the top 10, the top 15, I know them all over the last 10, 50 years. When you look to the bigger OEM players, from Apple, Tesla, known to the main public, all those people have been part of my visits and of my contacts. There's a reason that we generated ChipCart as a new revolutionary idea, and I will explain you a little bit more. So ChipCart can only be there in the digital area. If you look back, most of the manufacturers and the distributors, they started with the digital arena in the early 2000, 2002, 2003, and people are trying to come up with a digital proposition on their website, and still trying to have inside sales and outside sales. If you look to this model today, the manufacturer is having contacts directly to the customer. That means OEM, ODM, EMS, and end customers, but also through distribution. There are many big players in this world that, whether they are OEM or EMS, they are purchasing their parts directly from manufacturers, but they also purchase their parts from distribution. And you talk about global distribution, catalog distribution, and many, many local ones. If you look to distributors, as mentioned before, many distributors are having thousands of different contacts with different manufacturers. And there's typically the 80-20 rule. That means that they make their turnover with only 80% of their turnover with only 20% of the lines. That means they can only give the digital support, yes, on the website to everybody, but physically in inside sales, outside sales, technical support, commercial support, they can only give it to the main suppliers. And the main suppliers, they really request a lot of attention. And that's actually where we placed ChipCart. ChipCart is somewhere in the middle. And the beauty for ChipCart is that we have an unlimited line card. Today we have more than 250 secure API links with all the global players. That means global distributors, the catalog players, and many, many locals. And what is very interesting over the last 4, 5, 6 months, you can see that ChipCart has been approached. Instead, we are going to local ones. They are approaching us because we are getting bigger. Our name is popping up. What you see here is that ChipCart is now connected in Europe with more than 80 different distributors and manufacturers. In the US with more than 40, 50, almost 48. And when you look in Asia with more than 250. We have in Asia, we have our own ChipCart Chinese website. And believe it or not, we have today more than 16,000 clicks by day used by customers, 16,000, and that in just that short period. Today we are already, and this is just over the last 1.5 years, we are sitting, I'm myself headquartered in Pforzheim. In Pforzheim we have our inside sales and outside sales team for Germany and Central Europe. We have a warehouse, so all our suppliers, whether they are distributors, global, catalog, local, manufacturers and other qualified sources, they ship their electronic components to Pforzheim, we consolidate and we ship to the customer. We have an office in Istanbul since 4 months with 4 people. I have in Singapore a legal entity and a warehouse with 4 people for Southeast Asia. We have in Hong Kong a legal entity and a warehouse with 4 people. And then in Shenzhen, that's very important, China is having more than 500,000 traders on this planet. So you really need to understand with whom you're doing business, and we are only doing business with the qualified distributors and the qualified manufacturers. And in Shenzhen, we are heading now a team of 12 people. So this is basically where we are. We make sure that everything that is happening for the customer, that we manage the orders, We manage that the order is within our system. We make sure that everything in terms of availability gets into Pforzheim or gets into Hong Kong or gets into Singapore, and it will go to the customer. We call it a direct-to-customer model, and that's a little bit different to many, many platforms that you know on this planet. Because what we do, and that's of course, on one hand, you need to know your business, and I think that I have shown, and the people that we hired, that we know our business, we have the experience. And in this direct-to-customer model, it's very important for us that we have the possibility directly to get in contact with the customer, to understand their needs, not only through the platform, but also through our inside and outside salespeople. This is a very nice picture. Somebody in my team provided that to me, and this is actually the picture that people are using over the last 20, 30 years. So if you look to this here, the typical purchaser from OEM and EMS, and you're smiling and you're right, because if you look to this here, you have 6 or even more screens, and you have 5 or 6 different buyers, and they're all looking to that. And basically what you try to accomplish is that you have the right availability and you need to have the right pricing, right? So this is just a snapshot of ChipCart. So when you look to our site here, this is basically where you give in the article, you give in the required quantity, and there's also a possibility that you can look into, is it 1 week, is it 2 weeks, is it 2 months, is it 4 months, is it 6 months, 10 months, whatever. And then automatically our side will look to all the different offers. They will spit out directly. This product is, of course, it's a microcontroller from ST. And you see the availability. And this is the most important. Our side is showing any availability that is on the shelves of one of those global, local catalog or manufacturing sites. And then automatically the site will show you that in the chart you can directly do the purchase. The articles are staying like they are. So if the MOQ is 1 or 500, you can order. The articles are shipped into Pforzheim, we consolidate, and we ship for free into Germany, into Europe. This is one of the things that is the most important. Maybe this is my age, maybe it's the generation, but I like 24/7 availability. When I call somebody, I want to get an answer. And when I give an email, I also want to get an answer. And it should be a qualified answer. So what we have within ChipCart, we have 2 servers, which is very important because you need to have really a solid system. This is one of the things you need to have in this digital area, and 27 availability. What you can do here, this is the other thing that here's another article. You can click on different articles, and that's the beauty. If you need to be quick and you need to have 20 or 30 or 50 or 60 or 100 articles, and it needs to go quick, it is impossible for any single person to check around on all the different sites and all the different distributors. And what we provide to you, we can tell you directly, if you are with 20, 30, 40 different articles, you can click them, you can say, okay, I will make my checkout, and you just move from that. Automatically digital, the orders are purchased from the different suppliers mentioned in here. You can see exactly from whom it is coming. Again, we consolidate, and we ship it to you in anywhere in Germany or in Europe, and of course for the different sites in Asia it's as well, because we have our offices there. The warehouse is also important. We have our warehouse in Pforzheim, and many customers, and it is not a secret. If you look in Germany, we have already more than 150 buying customers. And a lot of those customers, what they are doing, and there are big OEMs, there are small OEMs, and many OEMs. And what people need typically in today's world, they need sometimes buffer stock. They need some security, some security availability. And this is also something we are pretty flexible. We can offer you that. So that means that if you have any need on the next 2 months, the next 4 months, the next 6 months, talk with us. We are flexible enough and we will fix it for you. This is an icon that also somebody provided in my team to me. And everybody is talking about artificial intelligence. Everybody is talking about robots. And I'm talking about the digital area. Now, let's make sure that digital is fine. But what you need to have people and brains behind it. And it's also important that when you talk about the digital world, that we have inside sales and outside sales. I have a qualified team of 6 people purchasing all across the globe, making sure that you have a fantastic experience. This is just a picture from my team in Pforzheim. To be honest, this picture was made 2 months ago, and today we have already 3 purchases more, and we have 4 salespeople more. One of them is standing over there. Hello, Dennis. So we hire people in the industry that are really experienced, and they know their customers, not only in Germany, but also for the big markets. When you look about Italy, when you look about Spain, Portugal, France, etc. Hard to find components. Hard to find components is also a topic that we have seen over the last 6-7 months, that we are pretty good in that. We have a huge database from OEMs, ODMs and EMS, not only in Germany and in Europe, but also worldwide. And we know exactly what people have on their shelves. We also have, based on the experience, we have been in contact with more than 40 different companies around the planet that are really specialized on hard-to-find parts and obsolete parts. We had recently, everybody that knows Japan is a very tough market, very closed. And due to our contacts, we also were able, for instance, Renesas product, obsolete for 7 years. We were able to make still a deal through another company with Renesas and making sure that the product was built again. The customer here in Germany was completely surprised. It was a big batch. And this is also something that is enabling us based on our contacts and based on our experience. Excess inventory, yeah, that's a topic. You can go here around the electronics industry, and what you see today is that every single OEM, every single EMS on this planet is talking about excess inventory. There's a rule within distribution, because I've been heading distribution within Arrow for many, many years. I know it from my time with Revolutionizes Electronics. There's the international accounting standard, where you're forced to depreciate your articles on the shelves within 12, 18, 24 months. By the way, when you have a car, a leased car, and you're working in Germany, it's taking 6 years. Electronic components, international accounting standards, either 2 or 3 years. So there is tons of material, billions, that is on the shelves of people since 2021. So this is a topic. What we do with excess inventory, we have with our experienced team, we have our ways that we take the articles, we make a analysis on understanding what they are. Is it me too? Is it more specialized? And based on the need, we use our website to find people in the same sector. So I give you one example. If you look in the medical sector here in Germany, and you talk about test and equipment, test and measurement within medical, or you talk about pure X-ray, then we have a database in Germany of around 40 different customers. In Italy, about 14. In France, about 17. And what we do then, our team, we approach these kind of customers, making sure that they find components in the same area. We assure confidentiality. That means nobody knows where the articles are coming from, because there might be competition. But we make sure that we deliver and we do all the rest. So there's also the possibility within the website to go directly on the excess inventory. You provide our Excel list, and we make sure that whatever happens, that you get here the details. Last but not least, I've been talking about ChipCart, the website. I've been talking about people, but the most important is here over the total that if you talk about a solution, and you talk about a company, you need to have the website, you need to have the support behind it. So we have an IT team of 38 people across the globe working on this server. I have people with experience only for the website that have experience more than 50 years in average. Yeah, so that's a lot. So this is not just a small startup. This is really a big thing. And last but not least, we are getting to the end. You can see here the barcode. You can screen it. You can check the site yourself. As mentioned, if you need to get any personal support, if you want to talk with us after this presentation, we have people around from purchasing, sales, then please talk with us. So thank you very much for your attention. And what I have now, I still have a small video of ChipCart that will only last 2.5 minutes. Okay, so thank you very much. Thanks.